How's it going, guys? It's Aaron from Minnesota Pro Paintball here. What we have here today is a newer marker on the market from a new company called Defy Sports. So this is the D3S. This is their first gun. It's an entry-level gun, has a $299.99 price point. So definitely a solid price point if you're looking at getting an entry-level marker or just a good backup marker and don't want to spend a ton of money. This one was actually given to me by one of my good buddies, Brad Gruitt, to check out. So I'm kind of excited to be able to look at it and kind of play around with it a little bit and see what it has to offer. So what we're going to do for you today is basically just do an unboxing and kind of a quick overview and see some of the finer points of the gun and the basic components of it and all that. So without further ado, let's get into it. First things first is you have this nice cardboard box, just flips open to some die-cut styrofoam that holds everything in place, nice. First thing is obviously the spares baggie. You got a couple spare eye covers, some extra O-rings, some D10s. So you pretty much have everything you need there. Nice little starter kit in case the gun does go down. You have everything you need to kind of swap out the O-rings and fix any leaks you may encounter. Next is a two-piece 14-inch autococker threaded barrel. Pretty standard. It's nice to get a two-piece barrel, especially with a $300 gun. Not something that you see a lot of nowadays. And then lastly, of course, is the gun itself. Initial impressions are the weight isn't too bad. It weighs in at about 2 pounds with the battery and the barrel. So it's pretty average for what you get in the entry-level market. So we'll set the box aside now and then just kind of talk about the gun. First things first, as you can tell, it is an internal air gun, so there are no hoses, which is really nice. You do get an on-off ASA, which you don't really see in the entry-level market, which is, personally, from my point of view, great. When you don't have an on-off ASA, what you end up doing is usually chewing up the O-rings on your tank, and then you have to replace those a lot more often. So with the on-off ASA, you can usually purge that air and save yourself the strain on the tank. It is an LED board on the back. The bottom red button is the power, and the top yellow one is your eyes. The kind of nifty thing about this, similar to like the Valken Proton, is when the gun is on, you actually change the firing modes by tapping the power button. And there are 4 firing modes on this. There's semi, PSP ramp, full auto, and burst, and they are all programmable, which is nice. Similar to the die dam, the regulator for this gun is actually integrated with the bolt system itself. So you adjust the velocity through the screw on the back of the gun here, and then the bolt is ahead of that mechanism. You do get a very low profile feed neck on this gun, which I personally like. Although it is a low profile feed neck, it does seem to hold the loader in place very well if you secure it. It is able to be locked down with just the use of an Allen key, so that's kind of nice. One thing that's interesting about this gun is the fact that the Fore Grip is just that. It's a Fore Grip. The air isn't routed to this at all. There is one set screw right in there that's keeping it in place, and then it just unscrews. There's actually a male screw right there, so this just screws right onto it, and basically it's just there for you to hold on to. So now what we'll do is we'll take out the drive assembly and just kind of show you that, as well as the regulator components. It does just unscrew, which is really nice. With the grooves cut into the back of it, it is extremely easy to grab onto. So you know you're out on the field and your hand's all greasy from paint and everything. It's really easy to grab onto this and work on it, so you don't have to worry about fidgeting with tools or anything like that. So it just pulls right out. And then inside is the reg spring. I will just kind of set that aside here with the back cap while we pull out the rest of the assembly. The easiest way I have found to get the internals out is just to stick one finger down the breech and push it out to the point where you can grab it and pull all of it out. So it is a very simple drive system, which is great. I mean, you don't want to be fidgeting with an overly complex drive system in an entry-level gun, especially if you don't really know what you're doing. It does come apart very easily, so we'll just kind of show you that here. First is the bolt can or keg, depending on which word you prefer to use, and then the valve itself, which actually is spring-loaded. It is held in by a screw, which hopefully you can see down the valve there. That does unscrew with the use of an Allen key, and then inside is the spring itself. Everything behind that is the regulator components, coupled with the reg spring, of course, which all just nestles right inside the back cap. And again, just adjust with this screw. The marker itself operates between 150 and 160 psi, so it is a relatively low operating pressure for for any marker, let alone an entry-level marker. And what that's going to allow you to do is have a little bit smoother shot and also give you a little bit better efficiency. So that's one thing nice to see, especially considering A, that it's a new gun, and B, that it's a new company. So they definitely did their homework when researching how to build the drive mechanism. With this marker being a spool valve, like we said, you are going to want to use grease on this. You have a ton of options. I mean, you can use monkey poo, you can use straight up sleek, dye grease, Tech T-Gun Salve. I mean, there's a lot of options. But you don't need to use a ton of grease on these, which is nice. You don't need to cake it on like the old shockers or anything. But once you relube all your O-rings, you just shove it back in the gun and screw it back in. And that's it. Again, guys, the gun, the D3S, retails for $299.99. As always, you can give us a call or send us an email or just stop in and pick one up for yourself. If you ever need to give us a call, our number is 952-303-5807, and our email is info@mnpropaintball.com. Thanks for watching.